Cuba being the biggest supplier to China because they own the production pretty much is what it sounded like. So how does the United States rank in cigar consumption to a
Number
global
one.
comparison?
Number one, we are 80% of the global consumption of cigars.
Mhm.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow.
What's the best domestic cigar made in the United States?
Best domestic. Maybe I believe Aganorsa still has a factory in Miami. So theirs is it's Aganorsa something. I'm drawing a blank on what it is. But the other one that's interesting is the J.C. Newman facility just celebrated their 125th anniversary of being a cigar factory in the United States. They make mostly machine made stuff in their facility, but they do have an interesting cigar that is not only 100% American made, it is 100% American sourced. The hinges for the box are stamped in the US, the boxes are made in the US, the bands are printed in the US, the flyer that comes with it is printed in the US, and all four tobaccos that are in the cigar are all sourced and grown in the United States. Now, it's a pricey cigar between $16 and $20 depending on the size, but if you're looking for American made, that is the pinnacle right there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Excellent. So let me ask you one more question before we wrap you up for the night. And maybe Barry's got a couple of more questions too. But for someone that wants to try a cigar, maybe for the first time, or maybe experience it, maybe experience it when he was a younger guy, and maybe wanted to try it again, what would you recommend? What would you recommend for somebody like me that might want to give that a shot?
So you go on to twoguyscigars.com and in the search bar you type in cigar school. So David, my partner on the cigar podcast, and we've been doing for charity for years because there's a thing about being able to give away free cigars to consumers since 2016, I believe. It became illegal to do it. So we created this cigar school that is a $300 value, and we were selling maybe 5 or 6 a year. But we would create this discount for charities, and they could buy it for $30, which covered the cost of the cigars for the event. So we're not giving away free cigars. And we did so many of these that we realized we could do this globally by just having the package available where you can get the 3 cigars that we're going to smoke, and we give you the flavor wheel so that when we teach you how to taste the cigars and pick out the aromas and the flavors, you have this wheel that you can see the most common flavors that show up in cigars. So for $79, you end up with a little travel case. You get a couple cigars, a cutter, a lighter, the flavor wheel, and the link to the video. It's about 2 hours long, and you're going to burn through 3 cigars partially through those 2 hours. And at the end, you will know whether or not you want to be a cigar guy or not. And if you're already a cigar guy, I promise you, you will learn something from that video that will be worth the $80.
That's
My son
outstanding.
is. So what about the cutter? You spoke about cutting. So is there a certain technique to create I guess the air passing through the cigar? Is there a certain size, certain technique, certain angle?
That is a great question. So imagine there's so many similarities between wine and cigars. So imagine you're out to an anniversary dinner and you bring in the missus out and you've been saving up for this and you're going to go all in $50 glass of wine each. So it's $100 play for 2 glasses of wine, and the waiter brings it out to you in a juice box. It's the same wine, but it's in a juice box. Forget about the presentation. You're blindfolded. Do you think you're going to get the same experience from that juice box with that little straw that you would get if you had a nice open goblet that you can smell the aroma and you can see the legs and you can fully experience the cigar with all of your senses, which, little known fact, the reason wine drinkers clink glasses, it's the last sense that they aren't using because they're smelling and they're tasting and they're feeling the wine on their palate and they're seeing the legs, but the missing element was sound. So the clinking glasses. Maybe that's a myth. I don't know, but that's what we go with
I
anyways.
like that
We'll
one. I'm
go with
going with that.
that.
So
We'll go with that.
to answer your
Trivia
question, Barry,
question.
the straight cut across the shoulders of the cigar gives you the most amount of airflow through the cigar with no restriction. If you cut too far, the only thing holding this cigar together is the combustion line on this end where the tobacco meets the ash. And on the other end, there's a little bit of fruit pectin on the cap that seals it. If I cut below the cap, my cigar will unravel. So I don't want to go that far. I want to stay right where the shoulders of the cigar break and cut straight across. And now I have every airway coming through that cigar, and it's opened up like a big glass of wine that I'm going to enjoy every subtle nuance of this cigar, as opposed
So in
to
a, sorry.
it's all right, as opposed to bullet punching or V cutting or any other. There was this shuriken cutter that had razor blades, 6 razor blades that cut slits. They're all subpar. A straight cut, straight across is the way to go.
I'm so glad I asked you that because every bit of what you said, including the V cut, was how I was taught. So, what it sounds like, though, to recap from a novice's statement, would be too far, you destroy the experience complete with you probably holding leaves in your hand.
Correct.
What's the word, cautious, and you're probably looking at not enjoying it. You're sucking on a straw that isn't pulling up anything, right? So
Correct.
it's the fine balance in between. Sounds like 7/8 of the diameter type of deal.
Yeah, you want to really just shave that cap off, and you can see on the cigar where the head happens, and there's a little break. The only exception to that's going to be in a torpedo, they call it, or a figurado, where it's pointy, and at that point you can cut anywhere on that because those rollers have 10 years more experience than someone rolling a straight Parejo, a regular cigar.
That's amazing.
So you'll have airflow almost no matter where you cut it.
Fantastic. I got a lot to share with my son, who's a beginner, thanks to his future father-in-law, who bought him a humidor and is pretty much an authority in Kentucky. And he's been teaching my son. And I poo-pooed it. Now I'm excited to give him some more good feedback and good insight.
Well,
And
the
it's
other
been really
great thing
useful.
is they get to sit down, I'm sure, and enjoy a cigar together because there's an expression that was coined by Larry David. He said, "A cigar takes time." And there's times when, my brother's one of my favorite people to smoke cigars with. Before my grandfather passed, he was one of my favorites. And the thing to do when you're not talking and you're really just enjoying the proximity of the company and you don't need to say something, but it's just awkward to sit in silence and you have a cigar going and you can just sit there and enjoy each other's company, and it gives you time to think about what you might want to say next. So it's not just some booger eating moron statement. Maybe you have something intelligent that you can offer to the conversation.
I like that it's hard to use your cell phone at the same time. That's what I'm going with.
Amen to that.
Having people on like yourself that have such background, such a diverse knowledge in their particular niche. Cigars are your niche. Maybe the last question would be, again, you mentioned twoguyscigars.com. So if they want to go and check out your online store,
Yep.
and that's how they can get in contact with you. If somebody wants your opinion, maybe they heard from you here in the show, they can also reach you there, I would imagine.
Of course. And also check out the podcast website, thecigarauthority.com. And that has our entire back catalog of episodes. And if you did have questions, you can go onto the contact us page of thecigarauthority.com, and they all get forwarded to me. And I answer questions on the daily. And it doesn't matter how basic the question seems or how stupid it seems or how unintelligent it seems. I get all the questions all the time. There's no stupid questions. Just ask, and I'm happy to answer.
That's
Fantastic.
amazing.
Yep. Clearly, you have a passion for your industry. We appreciate that so much because, again, that's what we look for here at the Swag Guys. And we'll just throw this out. If anybody out there in the business world that sees this, that's intrigued by what Mr. Jonathan has to say, would love the opportunity to come on to the Swag Guys podcast, talk about their business. We would love to have you on. It's as simple as going to support at the Swag Guys and just drop in the header and say, I'd love to be on your show. We'll contact you. We'll vet you. We'll talk about what you want to say. And maybe you'll be on one of our future podcasts. And God willing, maybe we'll get up to 50 or 60,000 viewers like Mr. Jonathan has on the Cigar Authority. When does that airplay, by the way, Jonathan? Is it on Saturday mornings?
Yeah, we go live Saturday mornings from noon to 2 every week. And by the way, 15 years, never missed a single episode. It's the
That's passion.
longest streak.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's passion right there. That's an incredible feat right there, my friend.
That's amazing.
Well,
So,
listen,
Jack, before you wrap up, I can't help myself because I'm so intrigued.
Yeah.
Mr. Jonathan, I have to ask. We asked a lot of questions. You were extremely knowledgeable, very kind to make us feel welcome, regardless how infantile the question might be in the cigar aficionado world. However, what's the number one question we missed?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious. Man, you hit cutting, you hit humidors. You guys are professionals. I don't think you missed anything.
Good. Well, then it's a matter of how many I'm buying from you. So great job. Very impressive.
Yeah,
I got one. I got one you missed. What's my favorite cigar? And my favorite cigar is the Byron 1850 Grand Bouquet. It's a little Solomon shaped, pointy on one end and kind of bulbous on the other end. And that's the cigar I smoke on my birthday. Or you guys are you can't see the other side of my smoking room that I have here, but I've got a mini split that's half out of the boxes that I'm ready to install. The place is a mess, but when I'm done this room, that's the cigar I'm smoking in this room as the first official cigar in the completed smoking room.
Okay,
and
so
why is that? So why is that? Just curious.
So that cigar features 5-year-old tobacco, which is about as far as you can take tobacco out. And then it's rolled. It's aged for 4 years in just 5 kinds of cedar, including Lebanese cedar, which you can't even buy Lebanese cedar planks. The man has to buy furniture, strip the furniture, turn the furniture into planks, and then make the planks go into these cubicles that he makes. And then the cigar is finished in the same oak that Chateau Lafite Rothschild, the wine, is finished in, virgin French oak. So it's 10 years old by the time I get it in the shop, and you light it up, and it is a level of decadence that few things that have ever been in my mouth that are that good.
That's incredible.
Awesome. What country does it come out of?
That is rolled right now in Costa Rica, and
Beautiful.
it soon will be rolled in Spain. There's a new facility that he created in Spain, which is a cigar museum, and it'll be the largest cigar factory the world has ever seen.
Wow, and I just left Spain. Shame on me.
Wow. Well, to wrap up, listen, again, we cannot thank you enough for spending some time with us. It has been enlightening. It's been a great podcast. So much great information. We would encourage everybody out there that watches, go to the cigarauthority.com. No, sorry.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, I did it right. Okay. Cigarauthority.com. Check it out. Check out their wares, and let us know that you went and visited. We'd appreciate that. Again, if you are interested in being on our podcast, it is support@theswagguys.com. Just drop us an email. Say we'd love to be on your show. Again, Barry and I will contact you, talk about what you have to offer. And again, we love entrepreneurs. We love people that give exemplary service. That is what we're about. If you're not familiar with the Swag Guys and what we offer business opportunities, consulting opportunities, but really what we do is we think outside the box. We've taken all the pain points away on delivering swag, whether you're a small business, big business, entrepreneur that wants to get into business. We offer not only a complete store with over 360 products ready to be printed on with your logo or your design, whether it's personal or customized, but we have so much to offer. We'd love you to check us out. Again, just contact us at Support at the Swag Guys. We'd love to for you guys to be our customer as well. So again, we thank you for allowing us to plug on your time, Mr. Jonathan. So with that said, Barry, any other questions?
I know this was probably one of the most rewarding conversations we've had today.